remember we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed, couldn't leave me alone. Text me every time that you pick up the phone. And I had control in the driver's seat, but my hands are slipping off the wheel. Now the tables have turned, now I'm up all night. I'm picturing you, acting like a fool. I'm on the other side, you're like a full moon, and I'm up all night, howling at you. Tables have turned, tables have turned.
Relationships, so much of their genetic codes that their bodies don't recognise with tumours. When we try to fight back to this disease, it's not really about curing each and every one of them. Instead, it's more about giving them the ability to fight back to disease without us even being involved. To get that, we picked two creatures at the opposite end of a scale. When these animals breed, the hope is that these new bloodlines, these new generations that we produce amongst them, might want. This is Rhiannon, this is the girlfriends. Now the boys tend to be a little bit bigger, tougher, meaner, stronger looking than the girls. It's actually the females who tend to rule the roost. So the girls actually are the bosses in their relationship for the vast majority of the time. Nonetheless, of course, that bite is there for a reason. Devils need to be able to eat huge volumes of food. Each and every one of them can eat nearly a third of their body weight in about half an hour if they're pushed to it. Now, our boys can get up to about 10 to 13 kgs. The girls usually remain around 7 to 8 kilograms. And that means they can eat somewhere in the region of 2.5 to 3 kilograms of meat in 30 minutes. It's a pretty big portion of food. And if you're going to eat that much, there's basically two rules. The first one being, you can't be all that picky and fussy about what you're actually consuming. So fur, fluff, skin, bone, it all becomes edible with the jaws and sets of teeth like this. The other rule, you can't necessarily share your food. Now, when he plays tuggy with me and he sees her, you'll start to hear a bit of a noise that they make back to one another. Occasionally, you'll hear the devils sneeze. Now, they make a little noise. Now, the little noise that they make to each other and myself today is about the politest sound that you're going to hear them produce. Devils have over 11 different vocalizations, 42 different noises in total that they make around their overall dinner. Now, there's a good reason why. These creatures don't really want to bite each other. Everyone may have an extraordinary set of jaws and teeth, but if you go around biting your opponent the whole time, they tend to drop the food, they bite you back. You will end up very sick, very injured, very ill, so for them, it's better to bluff. Now, that little noise is a basically basic warning that some of the other sounds that we'll hear in the other groups today are not so nice. They mean back off, I'll bite if you come closer. The whole idea is try to make yourself seem a little bit tougher than you really are. But if you're not going to share, that means that devils have to, of course, eat huge volumes of food and often do a little bit of scuffling to gain it. Certainly not part of a family, any pack, any bond or team. There is one exception, mum and babies. 9 to 10 months, mum is a really good mother. She's going to protect the kids from predators, feed them with meat and milk. Trouble is, if mum meets the kids out in the bush again, past about 8 to 9 months in, she'll actually squabble, fight and argue with them the same way she would do anyone else. So it's not a permanent bond, that's for sure. Now that's the scavenging side. You eat everything and you don't necessarily split it and share it, but at the same time, devils aren't just scavengers. These creatures are active predators as well. And we do get asked, well, what kind of prey for something that seemingly is quite small? Well, believe it or not, our top speed of a Tassie devil is over 25 kilometres an hour. It's not a bad run. It's quicker than me. But there is a catch. They can only sustain this run, this movement, for about the first 100 metres. Now, unfortunately, after that first 100 metres, we're going to see the devil collapse on the ground and start to go... I make a similar noise, but not for the same reason. They've actually got virtually no sweat glands covering their body, and it means they can muster just these little bursts of energy. If they strike at something like a neck or a thigh, get those teeth in, they're going to sever cut the arteries, the veins. Suddenly 3 times the size and weight they can be. But even small wombats have been on the menu. More preferred prey, possum species, wallaby variants, lots of bird life, but anything from insect up is technically a prey item for a Tassie devil. Biggest problem for this lot, actually finding their food in the first place. When I hop the fence and wave the meat in front of them, I get their attention fairly quick. But you'll find if I just drop the food on the grounds, it's a little harder to find. Now devils can certainly see, but it's really what's just in front of them. So if things are moving, their eyes are going to pick it up quick. If it doesn't move, it can become almost impossible for them to locate. Now devils instead have to use their other senses, and particularly a great one is the sense of smell. Tasmanian devils are believed to be able to smell their food about 2 to 3 kilometres away. I cut the food up by the top of the grey building. They were out and about fairly quickly this afternoon. As we mentioned, it's not particularly the fact that they know the time, it's more the fact that they know the sound of my voice and the smell of the meat. 2 to 3 kilometres is about the same distance the dogs they use in the airports can find their food from. No devils checking the bags, Hobart, Launceston yet, but you never know, might take over one day. Phenomenal hearing, ears are always that pink and red tone, and that's blood flow. They get that when they start to use them. They know the sound of my voice. English lad's here, he's got food on him, might get out of bed, might be the only chance today I get fed. Combination of both smell and sound are the 2 things that draw them out. But it's mainly to counteract that one bad sense, which is of course the eyes. Who needs them when you've got a nose and ears set like that? So we started off with quite a friendly pair today. I'm going to take you to go and meet a different couple.